Hello, guys. I'm back here, and today we're going to be talking about some good old news. The first thing will be the Biden and his calls for inflation. You'll kind of see on how much of a lunatic this man is, and kind of get an idea that we probably shouldn't be blamed for things. But Biden and the Democrats, they have to blame everybody but themselves because they can't possibly do anything wrong. They're the cause for pretty much like majority of the things happening in this country. So let's get going and see what this article has to say. Biden calls inflation his top domestic priority, blaming Republicans for lacking a plan. Yeah, Biden, I hate to say this to you, bud. Actually, no, scratch that. I don't care about saying this to you because, you're the problem. We had a plan. You guys just decided to remove our said plan. You don't like working with the Republicans or anybody for that matter at all. President Joe Biden sought to Tuesday to ease fears over inflation, promising that tackling rising prices is his top domestic priority and accusing Republicans of having no plan to offer Americans relief. They don't want to solve inflation by lowering your costs, Biden said at the White House. They want to solve it by raising your taxes and lowering your income. Pot calling the kettle black? Hello? Biden, that's what you're doing! Biden, no. Alright. Biden, this is exactly what you are doing. The Democrats are doing this. It's not the Republicans, it's the Democrats. You have raised our taxes, and you have definitely lowered our income by raising the said taxes. Because the more taxes that we get, the less income that we get. And let's be honest, majority of the Democrats have a very high influx of income tax. So that income tax means whatever that tax is, you take that percentage of that tax out of your income, which is lowering your income. Biden, you guys are doing this. Stop lying. We know you guys. He called inflation the nation's top economic challenge, blaming the twin challenges of once-in-a-century pandemic and the war in Ukraine. I want every American to know that I'm taking inflation very seriously, and it's my top domestic priority, Biden said. Americans are grappling with the worst inflation in 40 years, fueled by surges in gas, food, and rent costs. Yes, which is caused by you alone. The Labor Department reported last month that the Consumer Price Index jumped 8.5% in March from 12 months earlier, the sharpest year-over-year increase since December 1981. Including the economic figures for March, inflation has notched 40-year highs for 5 straight months. I'm not really surprised considering that Biden did this. To curtail the spiking inflation, the Federal Reserve raised its key short-term interest rate by half a percentage point last week, a signal further increases. Top economists expect the Fed to lift the rate as high as 2.5% to 2.75% by the end of the year from its current 0.75 to 1% range. U.S. stocks surged after the interest rate hike but tumbled the next day and extended their losses through Monday. Yeah, well, here's the thing. Biden, I could list a multitude of things that you have done in the past year that is absolutely horrendous, let alone the 2 years that you've been bringing down this country. Like I said, it only took you like a couple of months to completely ruin the country and raise the gas prices. You did this. Let's just shut off the oil pipeline. And lo and behold, just so happens that our gas prices rose up. Oh, that's odd. I wonder why that's going on. It's just insanity. This is what happens, guys. This is what happens when you elect people that you don't know anything about, or because somebody said something bad that offended you, aka we're talking about Trump here, and then you elect this man that is actively destroying your lives. Here's the thing that I don't care about specifically people in blue states, because people in the blue states are the cause of their own destruction. They're the cause of their own lives being hell. And the reason why this is because you vote for people that lie to you, and you vote for people that actively destroy your life. Like, I don't understand, like, your type of question. It's like, oh, well, the Republicans are not be much better. It's like, have you tried voting differently? Have you tried? Because I don't think you have. And the worst thing is that you'll read headlines instead of reading the actual article and be like, oh my god, they're so terrible. Listen. You people are ignorant, and I would damn near say that you people are stupid. And the reason why I say this is because you don't read, you don't look up information, you follow especially women do this, you'll follow the path that leads to society standards because you want society to like you. You want society to, be part of something, right? But in all reality, you don't actually do research enough to help better it. It's what I always say about Democrats. Democrats are always fueled by emotion, and emotion fixes nothing. And what women go by is for actual emotion. And emotion fixes nothing. We need logic and reasoning to fix a lot of the problems that we have. And a lot of other things that people don't like to understand is error fixes a lot of problems. We may fail a lot, we may fail here and there, but this is how we perfect things. Criticism perfects things. When you go off of emotion and think criticism feels bad to you, you don't fix the problem. It's like putting a band-aid over something, and then potentially the problem gets worse and worse and worse until the band-aid doesn't help anymore. Then at some point, you need to do something more drastic to fix the problem. And that's something that's more drastic doesn't really actually hurts more. This is the problem that I have with Democrats, is that you may have a big heart, and that's a very, very, very huge thing here is may, which I would dare say you don't, especially after the pro-abortion things that's been happening. I think I would like to say the big heart is falling very down low on the actual market of big. But even if we were to say that, we can't work in a society that fuels by emotion because it doesn't fix problems, it doesn't fix things. And again, you going after the Republicans that are actively not always going off of emotion, again, we'll see how crazy the Republicans get after they potentially get the seat and everything and all that and in the upcoming midterm elections. We'll see what happens. But again, if they overreach, just like the Democrats, we have to slam on the Republicans too, because we don't need Republicans having too much power with controlling people's lives. The same thing we don't want the Democrats having too much power and controlling people's lives. We gotta slam each side accordingly. And right now, it's the Democrats. And right now, the Democrats want to blame the Republicans for things that they're doing. Like, again, they can't be held accountable for their own actions. They have to blame other people. Republicans see inflation as their best issue for this year's midterm elections, pointing to polls that show inflation and the economy are top of voters' minds. A majority of adults surveyed by CNN at the end of April said Biden's policies hurt the economy. Damn right they do. 8 in 10 said the government isn't doing enough to combat inflation. Damn right they're not. The more Joe Biden talks about inflation, the better it is for Republicans, said Chris Hartland, communications director for the National Republican Senatorial Committee, the campaign arm for Senate Republicans. The committee is headed by Florida Sen. Rick Scott, whose governing plan, if Republicans take control of Congress, has become a prime target of Democrats, despite the fact that it has not been embraced by the GOP leaders in Congress. Yeah, again, as I said, it's the Democrats that kind of control everything, and the Republicans don't really have a say. It's like the Republicans were putting up something, and the Democrats would be like, oh, we don't like that. And then, again, since the Democrats right now have the majority, we can't get anything done. We can't even talk to the other side because the other side is just so toxic that it's impossible to do anything. In particular, Biden attacks Scott's assertion that all Americans should pay some income tax and all laws should be renewed every 5 years. No. Nobody should be paying income tax. That is stealing from people, you lunatic. See, this is why you guys are the problem. You say the Republicans are the problem, yet you're the ones actively stealing people. You're taking the money that they earn and giving it to the government. What is wrong with you? That's not helping people. That's taking people's money and trying to bend it off their hard work. That is not how that works. That's honestly a form of socialism. I'm sorry, I hate to say it. Somebody works super hard, and then after they work all that hard, you take what they worked so hard for and give it to yourself. That is messed up. You do not do that. No, income tax is theft. Get it the hell out of here. You know what I want? I want all 50 states to have no income tax. Maybe produce some type of sales tax. Maybe produce some kind of other tax that actually makes sense. But income tax? Oh, I live in California. That the income tax is around 13.7 to 16.6 to 16.6% of the income tax. That's so much of my money gone, and the housing for California is absolutely ludicrous. So not only my income tax taking so much out of my paycheck that I need to survive off of, I'm also screwed due to the high pricing that I can't get a house because the income is taking so much. The tax is taking so much. Now, remember, they're saying it straight out to you guys. They're saying it straight out that they want to actually take your money. And you guys are just going to and Californians and Democrats are just going to willingly allow this to happen. Great. Fantastic. Idiots. Idiots, all of them. You're the problem, guys. Democrats, you're the problem. The people that vote Democrat, you're the problem. Again, gotta vote the right people in as well. Sometimes the Republicans are not the greatest. And I can name a few. The White House argued the former would impose a new minimum tax on the middle class, and the latter would put Medicare and other critical programs on the chopping block every 5 years. Okay. If Republicans want to repudiate his plan, they should do that. White House Press Secretary Jenkins, like I said, Monday. But otherwise, that continues to be what they're running on. I mean, you guys want to. I mean, you guys are the one that want to increase taxes, and you want to have income tax. I mean, what more else to say? Steps at the White House has said Biden has taken to combat inflation include releasing oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, working with private sector to lower the cost of internet access for low-income Americans, freezing student loan payments, and making more dependents eligible for premium subsidies under the Affordable Care Act, which the Affordable Care Act is a bunch of BS, but okay. Other proposals to lower costs on healthcare, childcare, and other common expenses have not advanced in Congress. That's because you guys are not going after Big Pharma, but I digress. You guys are for Big Pharma because otherwise you would not be pushing the COVID vaccination on millions upon millions of people. Republicans charge high spending by Democrats is behind rising prices. Every congressional Republican voted against last year's $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief package that some added too much killing to a hot economy. Exactly. You guys are the ones that wanted like a $3 trillion COVID relief plan or something like that, something crazy, and then you wanted like the IRS to spy on people's like unrealized income or whatever, like something along those lines. Like what? You guys actively. This is the reason why inflation is so high. You keep on printing money, and then that money increases the inflation. And you guys are the exact problem. You did this. Oh my god. Biden rejected that argument, saying his policies helped not hurt the economy. Oh no, it's definitely hurt the economy. It's more than hurt it. It's more than hurt it. For sure. Otherwise, the inflation would not be the way it is, by the way. It's not because of spending, Biden said. We've brought down the deficit. The deficit has dropped largely because of expiring stimulus programs and higher inflation, according to the Nonpartisan Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. Yeah, well, listen here, Biden. Everything that you've done over the past 2 years, you have actively destroyed the country. Actively destroyed it. You made lives harder for everyone. Why do you think you have such a bad rating? Right? You have such a terrible rating that nobody likes you. It's lower than Trump's was. And everybody disliked Trump. You have a lot of stuff to explain to yourself, Biden, and you're just trying to deflect blame onto people that you did yourself because you people can't be held accountable. I can't believe this senile old man is still in office, and the fact that we haven't used the 25th Amendment to get him out is insanity to me. Alright, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Thanks for watching this clip from my podcast that I make every day, Monday through Friday, 3 o'clock p.m. PST to all the way to 5 o'clock p.m. PST. If you like what you see, please subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.